Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the counselor's office. I'm Sicky Icky, Mr. Gaming Counselor, still fighting a little bit of a cold. We are going to react to the Destiny 2 Revenant Act 1 developer live stream. Now, I'm going to split up in two parts because the last part focuses on like the future, and I would rather do a separate video for that. I want to focus on the next episode because if you didn't check it out, check the link down below. I did a brutally honest review on episode 1, and it was an abomination, probably one of the worst parts of Destiny history we've ever had. I think Curse of Osiris was better narrative wise. Obviously there's more content, but I would still say I enjoyed Curse of Osiris more, and that's saying something considering 2 tokens and a blue will forever be a meme. But I think episode 1 will forever be known as the bad fan fiction soap opera days of our lives bull garbage that no one cares about. So I want to see improvements, and so we're going to jump in and we're going to check out Revenant. Can episode 2 be an improvement? I said in my review that episode 1 was a low bar, so I think that you would have to be really bad to not do that.
Episode echoes. Can you tell us a little bit about the story that got us to where we are now?
Sure, absolutely. Well, let's start with the death of the witness, who we thoroughly destroyed.
Absolutely.
And his giant, smoky, billowing head dissipated into a mist of darkness, which then coalesced with the traveler's light. Right? Crystallizing into the echoes.
Wow.
Which fell into the soul system.
Which I'm going to be honest, the first episode did it no justice. Like, this is supposed to be really powerful, and I didn't see any threat at all from it. So hopefully we see some threat analysis from this echo.
One of those fell, of course, to Maya Sundaresh, which we know from episode 1. And it fundamentally changed how the Vex saw themselves. And
they became critical thinkers, unlike Bungie bots.
Now we're going to get the same treatment with the Scorn, because one of the
I like the Scorn
to Fikrul, leader of the undead Elixni army.
The undead.
And similarly, that echo is going to prompt the Scorn to evolve, to see themselves in a new way, and to fundamentally change what they are. And I won't spoil anything. I'll let players discover that for themselves. But suffice it to say, Fikrul is evolving his army, he's growing his army, and in order to build Scorn armies, you need a bunch of corpses.
Interesting.
Which is not necessarily in the best interest of the Elixni. So we will be teaming up with Mithrax.
Speaking of Fikrul, we see him right here as well now. We're taking a look at the new...
I'm going to be honest. The main core of the theme is Fikrul's building an army of undead. You've got me sold. Forget the garbage that was episode 1. I'm already sold based on the fact that we have an undead army. And it's like vampiric and all that. Like, I'm sold. Like, that's a dope theme. I don't know what the hell the fan fiction we got last episode, and I wasn't even excited for the episode when they showed it off. I'm actually a little excited because the fact that he's building an army. I hope we see some payoff, like some actual threat. Like, it's a war between Scorn and Elixni. I want to see some actual threat, some damage. We'll see if they can pull it off.
The new art for episode Revenant as well. So Fikrul's gotten a bit of a glow up, I think.
Absolutely.
And that's red too, by the way.
Metal. And I think that shows it right there. That accurately depicts the tone of the season.
It's
really cool.
I will say, we won't watch the trailer today, but when folks see the trailer, you're right. Metal is the right word to use.
So much slaying. It's going to be awesome.
I mean, it looks really cool.
But the Elixni, of course, want to prevent this, and so we'll be teaming up with Mithrax, the Kell of House Light, and his daughter, Ido, the adorable Ido.
Must be protected at all costs.
Who's also really naive.
And she will be bringing her expertise in herbology and ancient Elixni lore to help us craft tonics to imbue us with the power that we need to battle this
I want to know
evolving Scorn army.
I want to know more about tonics before I like the seasonal, like last season was like a bunch of like fetch quest and like dissect subjects that was like very boring. So I want to be something that I actually give a crap about.
Interesting. That is, thank you, by the way, for not only, now you've narrative directed us into our segue as well, so thank you very much. Narrative design as well. And so I think we should go ahead and dive into a little bit of gameplay.
By the way, narrative design, is this the guy that's responsible for the fan fiction? Because I'm very disappointed if that's the case. I don't think it is, because this guy was like excited about this whole theme of vampires and stuff like that, or undead. So I don't want to blame him.
Starting over here with you, Clayton. So we just heard a little bit about some new tonics and everything. Can you tell us a little bit about where we are and what we're going to be doing here? This is the new apothecary, I believe?
That's right. So we're in the apothecary space, and Jerome was just mentioning the tonics and potions that we'll be crafting. They come in two flavors.
We're doing some crafting.
Flavors, and they come in reward flavors.
Okay.
The combat flavors are going to enhance...
Hold on. Consume enriching tonics to increase rewards earned by defeating combatants and completing activities. Oh my God. So you can actually make tonics that give you rewards. Actually kind of dope.
Or rather boost your artifact perks, specific ones.
Yeah.
Higher...
Whoa. Hold the phone. Okay. Tonic, which grants the following effects for 60 minutes, so like an hour. While Frost Armor is active, primary ammo stasis weapons deal bonus damage. Boosted artifact perks, wind chill, boost, dealing stasis damage to slowed targets, has the chance to spawn a stasis shard. Armor of Aramis. Oh, Aramis is involved. Okay, good to know. Boost, increase the radius and strength of the freezing burst. Okay, so we're getting some stasis. Remember that season where they said we're going to really focus on stasis? Season of the Wish, that didn't happen, but this does.
Rarities of these tonics will boost multiple artifact perks, which is really great.
Okay, yeah.
That's really dope.
On the rewards.
Crystalline Converter. Boost stasis weapon final blows after activating your class ability. Spawn a stasis shard. Hail of the Storm. Boosting shattered frozen targets. Boost shattering frozen targets and stasis crystals deals increased damage. Dude, I'm already hyped because it's like it's building into your artifact, which is one of the things I always said artifacts were kind of getting like boring. This actually lets you build more into it. That's dope. Except anti-champion, I still think anti-champion's boring.
Side, we wanted to create a new or novel way to chase your
Dilabating Wave. We have Arc. I'm just going to do this because I'm tired of trying like, all right, Arc, Void, and Stasis super equipped. The Blast also applies Blind, Weaken, and Slow respectively. Yo. So finishers grant a small amount of health. That is awesome. Wait a minute. You can use this for like Invisboy and just go invisible and you weaken. Oh my God. Conductive Cosmic Crystal increases damage to combatants that are affected by stasis. Bro, where are these when we should have this like for everything. Dude, this is already far more impressive than the garbage we got from episode 1. What the hell?
Gear and your weapons that you love.
Yeah.
And we took a lot of inspiration from the success of Into the Light.
I love to hear that, by the way. Power from the Pain. While Devour is active, special ammo void weapons deal bonus damage. Oh, baby, I already know a couple weapons that are going to love this. Using grenade launchers to damage bosses, champions, or to break combatant shields automatically reload stowed weapons. Rapidly defeating weakened combatants spawn a void breach. Disgusting, dude.
Or players got to attune to specific weapons. And so with your reward tonics, you'll be able to attune to specific weapons within the season.
Very nice.
Fantastic.
They're not craftable in this season, which is important to note, but you will.
Crafted weapons are gone, at least for this episode. Yeah, I know there's so many people seething because they love crafting, but thank God Attunement is back and I can have a real chase, baby. I just hope the weapons are worth the chase in the first place. Screw you, crafting. Yeah, that's what I think about crafting. Suck my nuts. Thank you, Bungie. By the way, Attunement, we're getting Onslaught.
You will be able to target them, and they'll have enhanced perks.
Got it.
Enhanced perks. Let's go. We can target and we can enhance perks. Woohoo!
Okay, so you'll be able to go ahead and chase down that god roll you're looking so desperately for with the help of this. But also, for the build crafters out there, they're going to have even more to dive into than maybe just the episode artifact and everything. These are going to go ahead and help just boost a lot of those traits.
Dude, I like that.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So build craft.
I think this is the most I've ever been excited about the artifact. It's not even the artifact itself. It's the potions that boost the artifact. That's the exciting part.
Make sure your appetites are whetted and ready. There's going to be plenty of stuff for you to go ahead and dive into. But we're going to go ahead also and dive into some of the meat and potatoes of today's stream, proverbially speaking. As we're on our way over to Onslaught, Clayton, I just want to go ahead and also start there. Onslaught's getting kind of a new revamp this episode as well. You guys have left proverbially very few, if any, stones untouched this time around.
Correct. Yeah. And
listen, I'm getting excited because I loved Onslaught. I loved Into the Light. And if you watched any of my videos, you know I continuously talk about Into the Light. And I talk about Onslaught. Also, one of my biggest feedbacks and criticisms is that Bungie does not go back and touch old content. The fact that they went back and they're touching Onslaught is such a W because, one, I love Onslaught. So it's like, oh, I'm glad to go back to it. But just the fact that they're actually doing more with it. Oh, now if they could, it seems like they might be doing that with the rest of the game in a year or so. I don't know, but like continue the train, please. That's what I said with Into the Light. I said, continue the train. And then they stopped the train with episode 1. It's like, Argh. But now we're continuing the train in episode 2. I don't know. I cannot say that the rest of the episode will be good, but I will grind my nuts off in Onslaught because that's the one activity out of everything in Destiny that I really, really enjoy. So the rest of it can be totally ass, but I will still give them praise for Onslaught. We're still got to see how the rest of the season turns out, or sorry, episode turns out. But hell yeah.
And so
Onslaught.
We heard players' feedback. They wanted to see us invest in Onslaught. We are coming out with a brand new Onslaught called Onslaught Salvation.
Imagine that when they actually listen to feedback and they do an activity people like. Oh, they can actually take feedback. My mind is blown. Holy crap. 10 years and they're taking feedback. It's a miracle. I need to call my grandpa and tell them I just saw Jesus because it's a miracle.
Yeah.
We are going to have 3 maps that you'll be in there. You will have some new defenses. We'll have
3 maps. Hell yeah. I was expecting 1, but we got 3. I'm sorry. I'm excited.
Enemy factions that will be fighting into the theme of this episode.
Tell me more.
We'll have the Scorn. We'll have the Dark Cabal.
Okay.
A bunch of other new stuff that we can get.
Wait, are we gonna get like the Light Hive? We're gonna get the Guardian Hives. Throw that in there too. But the Dread.
Me too.
Excellent. Yeah, we'll be diving into that here briefly. You can see our fire team is now on their way. While we're on the way over as well, I heard a brief mention of our friends in the Shadow Legion as well. Can you tell us what the Shadow Legion is doing here and why they might be in league with Fikrul?
There's narrative, which is funny.
The Shadow Legion are bumming. They are in utter disarray. They're.
Can we just say that anytime we've ever involved the Cabal, they're always bumming? Like when Gaul died, they were bumming for like what 2-3 years until Callus came back up, or Callus's daughter, and then they were like, "Hey, now we're the Shadow Cabal," and now they're back to bumming. Man, the Cabal just can't get a win. They're just always bumming.
Leader has been slain, and they
like. I'm thinking every encounter. There's the Red War ones, and then there's Callus's. Well, there's the Red War, then his daughters, and then Callus's. So we had 3 different variants of the Cabal factions, and all of them were bumming.
They are grasping to anyone who can keep them in power.
Yeah.
And Fikrul holds the most powerful artifact around now.
I hope we see that power.
They will be doing his bidding, though it will be a tenuous alliance.
They're just they're going with Fikrul's Riz just for right now, but that may not be the case later on.
That's right.
We're gonna
will do our best to stomp that out.
Thank you. All right, fair enough.
What?
Much appreciate it. All right.
Okay.
So now we are here. We're in Onslaught, and we're on Widow's Court.
Yeah.
Okay,
PvP
nice.
Players will recognize.
Dude, I love the environment, like the pus and everything. Like it's all horror filmed. It's dope. Also, what the hell is the grenade launcher
that we've done to accommodate for the
hold on, Chief.
Slaying, the amounts of slaying that is necessary for
is that that's a stasis GL.
Yeah, and a quick refresher for the folks at home that may not have dove into Onslaught recently.
Holy crap.
Into light. There is the 10 level mode and the 50 level mode, isn't that correct?
Right, so Onslaught Salvation will also be coming with the 3 modes that they've had in the past, which is the playlist 10 wave mode, the normal 50 wave mode, and then we'll have our expert 50 wave mode. And the new thing about
the turret!
One of the new things is that
that's a D1
it will
turret.
not be powered fixed like it was prior in Into the Light.
Oh, right.
That's a D1 turret, I believe.
Power enabled, so your armor and your weapons will matter even more.
Yeah.
It will be at the start more difficult, but you can through getting better, more power and grinding that artifact level, you'll be able to kind of outweigh that difficulty. Yeah. And you'll also be able to rely on some of the new defenses as well.
I was going to say we were just looking at a turret that maybe Guardians haven't seen since their days on the moon in D1.
Yeah.
So, like, what's going on? We got some new defenses, obviously.
We have some new defenses. So Ashley Baker is one
Dude,
of the,
this GL. What is this GL?
On our team right now, and she has helped us build these defenses as well as other things in Onslaught. She's worked with the Sandbox team, who have knocked it out of the park with this rideable turret.
Yeah.
So it is kind of a standard rideable turret at first, but by upgrade 3, it's going to have more health, it's going to be dealing more damage, but it's also going to have scorching rounds come out of it.
Okay.
And what the cool thing about that is if you have build crafting with fragments or
what is that shotgun? It's a double
that will play off
burst shotgun.
if you're the rider.
Very nice. Okay. Yeah. So you can go ahead and really scorch everyone.
Everyone. Clumps of enemies, those annoying demolitionists that come.
All right, so far, I like what they're talking about. One, the upgrades. They're adding a new turret. That's fantastic because a lot of the old turrets were meh. The fact that you can upgrade this turret, it does like keywords like scorch and explosions, like all that stuff, ignitions. That's dope. I like the concept of that. Then there's the fact that I'm watching this guy run double secondaries, and it's a GL. This is like I think they're gonna talk about it, but dude, that is like the Fighting Lion of stasis, and I'm already thinking it's better than Fighting Lion. Like, why would I ever use Fighting Lion over this thing? This thing looks nasty. Just they're playing on expert too, so this is no like snooze fest. This is a decent grenade launcher. By the way, shout out to the devs for actually playing their game and playing on expert instead of playing like a lost sector for a cutscene. Like they're actually in the trenches with an actual build and actually playing. Like shout out to them. That is like my biggest gripe compared to like Warframe, where they actually play their game and they're in the trenches like DE. So it's good to see Bungie actually show more of their developers play hard at game content to show that they know how to play their game.
In front of the ADU and scare the hell out of you.
Yeah, they do. That was my words. Okay, they do scare that.
Yeah.
All right. So in the subject or in the topic of new defenses, so we're bringing back the turret.
Yeah, look at that. They got a build
of Destiny, but also there's some other ones available as well. Can you tell us a little bit about maybe some new defenses that are on the way?
Yes. So the other one that we have is the airstrike, which will have 3 cannons when you purchase it, or upgrade it. They'll be replenished there. And what that allows you to do is essentially mark anywhere on the ground. Yeah. And when an enemy or enemies run over.
Wait, that guy had a bane, I think. He had the thing on his head. So there's banes in here.
A giant beam. It will come down from the sky and obliterate your enemies. Yeah. I'm going to keep a little bit of the secret for higher upgrades. I want to
that's fair. That's fair.
But there's some really nice upgrades.
Nimbus liked that. We'll just go ahead and put that.
There you go.
Right? Yeah, exactly. And actually, so just to double check as well, with the airstrikes, it's not just you plant it and it fires. It actually has to wait for someone to kind of trigger that.
Waits for someone to come over.
Okay.
Yeah. So much like the
airstrike, nice.
We are also updating for Onslaught Salvation. We've heard the feedback about the tripwires, and we want to bring their value up a little bit more. So now they're going to be exploding with stasis slow fields. Yeah. And on higher upgrades, they'll be creating stasis crystals for you to play off of if you have a stasis build, stasis weapon. And then I'm happy to share that those updates will also be available in the original Onslaught as well.
Very nice.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you bring your old stuff forward. You update the old stuff. That's fantastic. Oh my God. I'm excited. I love Onslaught. I love everything that I see. I actually am thinking this new exotic is going to be a banger. So I'm actually excited to play Onslaught. And I'm going to be very honest. Even if this is the only good part about the whole episode, I will put it in my brutally honest review that I only liked Onslaught and I only played Onslaught. Like, I will religiously play Onslaught for all the gear. Do not care. I'm excited for this. And I know it's sad that one activity specifically holds my interest, but I'm going to be very honest. I loved Into the Light and I love Onslaught. Those are the easiest wins you could get. And yes, that's like the bare minimum, but they're showing that they are improving upon it and adding stuff. And that's what I want. I'd rather, instead of having 30 different meaningless activities that do nothing, just build upon what you have and make it better and more unique. And so it may not be a lot, but considering we didn't get much of an improvement last episode, except for Enigma Code, which I really like. And I hope we see that again sometime. But honestly, this is dope.
Nice. Okay, so all the updates that are happening to the defenses that are available in Onslaught Salvation will be available in the traditional Onslaught mode as well.
Oh, I love it.
Very exciting. Okay, nice. Good to see. Yeah. While we're on the topic of stasis and obviously looking at our tools for destruction, Chris, I'd be remiss if I didn't try and bring up the new breach loading.
Yeah, what the heck is this?
Our fire team here is getting.
Tell me more about it.
There's obviously a decent chunk of new weapons arriving with Revenant, but let's start here. This is the new seasonal, or pardon me, episodic exotic.
Yeah, this would be the...
Even they're calling it seasons. Confirmed, they're just seasons.
Season pass exotic.
Yeah.
It's the Alephamin Stasis primary ammo grenade launcher.
It's so good.
So we've only had one primary ammo grenade launcher before, which is Fighting Lion.
Fighting Lion.
Which is getting a buff this season as well, actually. It'll,
okay, I eat my words. I made fun of Fighting Lion, but apparently it's getting a buff too.
That's right, yeah.
Make enemies volatile when it hits them, so like serious crafting there, particularly in PvE. But
so
anyway,
it has PvE uses.
So this is a bit different in that it's also a projectile travel in a straight line.
Ooh, like mountaintop.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hits pretty hard. But the exotic part of it is that as you defeat enemies, you will gather these remnants, which will fill
I've seen
the
them.
exotic bar, which you can see in the HUD when people aren't dead.
Yeah. It's the shade.
Yes. Oh, they're in expert.
No, that's true. Yeah, we should note for the Guardians at home, this is an expert mode, so they're taking the hard way, obviously.
Yeah.
That's
so
dope.
When the bar reaches 50%, you can special reload, and your next shot will launch a special ammo.
He just mountaintop jumped with that thing. Holy crap, there's a legendary mountaintop.
Brick for you and your allies to pick up.
Very nice.
And when you reach 100, you can special
Did I say legendary? I'm an idiot. An exotic mountaintop.
Reload and launch heavy ammo. So this lets you really go in on a new type of support role, which is like ammo support, which we haven't really seen in the game before.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think on my side, I really just spend a lot of the time getting.
I'm about to become a warlock main with this.
It seems like a nice additional way to go ahead and make sure that you're really feeding the fuel, pardon me, of
it reloads
the
so fast.
Burners like myself who have been addicted to microcosm recently. So
potentially you could have one person in the fire team go all in on ammo generation. And the other folks build something else.
Also, so Clayton, when it comes to the other stuff,
you can make ammo. That is so crazy.
Are there any new things we're looking forward to? I know that we're obviously fighting the
he just made ammo.
Scorn, but
he just made ammo. Holy crap! Not only is it mountaintop, it has infinite ammo, but you can make special ammo for your team, so you can play support by blowing your load. I'm in love with this exotic. Holy crap, talking about unique, is there a heavy option? Like, can we toggle heavy nonstop? I need to make heavy on demand, blow my load.
Are there any new bosses or anything people can look forward to?
Right, so the Fickrel...
I gotta call it out in the chat. MO regen glitch incoming. You know it's going to happen. Someone's going to find some way to abuse it.
Scorn are also going to be coming out with what we're calling the Revenant Baron.
Okay.
And that thing is scary. And you'll see it on wave 6 here in a second when the players are instructed to go into a Revenant nest and go and save the Elixir from being captured.
Yeah.
These Revenant Barons, they stalk the area, and when you kill them, they will create a Revenant totem which flies in a random direction, leaving a trail so you can kind of stalk it, find it.
Yeah.
You have to kill it before it...
Let's see. No way I'm playing Onslaught for 4 months. No way I'm playing Onslaught for 4 months. No way I'm playing... I don't care what you think. Go play your shitty episode 1. This is the same person that probably likes episode 1's activities more. I don't get out of here.
Would respawn the Revenant Baron.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so there's...
But no, he's right. I hope we get more than just Onslaught for 4 months. But I will still be grinding my tits off in 4 months. At least 2 of those months, because that's what I did Into the Light.
There's some hide-and-seek gameplay there. Yeah, and we also have for the rewards side, starting on wave 30, set 3, players will have a small chance to get a fully masterwork double perk episode.
I'm sorry. Shut the fuck up. What'd you say?
Like stalk it, find it.
Yeah.
You have to kill it before it would respawn the Revenant Baron.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So there's some hide-and-seek gameplay there. Yeah, and we also have for the rewards side, starting on wave 30, set 3, players will have a small chance to get a fully masterwork double perk episodic weapon.
Oh, nice. Okay.
They brought shinies back, but they're not going to be shiny. They're just going to be masterwork. Which, hey, even if they're not shiny, which kind of sucks, I'm still down for the pound town. The fact that they still brought that back. So crafting, goodbye. Hello attunement and hello chasing for the double perk. Enhanceable weapons. Now, the only thing that's missing here is a good loot. If the loot is mid or ass, I'm going to be disappointed because this is shaping up to be everything I could ask for. But if the loot is ass, I'm going to actually read my mind out.
Yeah, and on expert, like we're playing, if you remember the bonus chest on harder difficulties will show up. So if you're playing on expert, you have 2 chances.
Okay.
Yay!
Right, so really make sure you're pushing through those final levels. Try and hit that ceiling of level 50 so you can really facilitate the loot grind as much as you can.
100%.
Geo looks interesting.
Something we mentioned recently in one of our Dev Insight logs as well are Banes, which are going to be making an appearance here in Onslaught. Can you tell us a little bit about that as well?
Yeah, so we'll be with the expert mode only. We'll be having Banes throughout the activity, and we'll also be adding mods. So
it doesn't seem like the Banes. I didn't really see a lot of them. Maybe they kill them really quick, but it doesn't seem like it's as invasive. Like, oh god, it's gonna dominate the whole gameplay. I'm not seeing that, but I am seeing a shit ton of freaking anti-champions, or sorry, champions, should I say? So that's gonna be interesting.
So it's really nice to have them show up because they add another layer of replayability into expert. You don't know if you're going to get the gaseous one where you're like, you got a dot on you, or if you have to break line of sight. But it adds.
Funny enough, you don't need that for Onslaught because just randomly pairing up with people is always going to be random. Am I going to make it to 50? Am I going to make it to 5? Are we going to get past the first one, or am I going to get people that know what the hell they're doing? And that goes for both expert and normal mode, by the way. Like, usually I can carry into the 30s and 40s on normal, but my God, some people make it to where it is a desperate ploy. But I'm going to be living in expert.
Adds a fun variability within the gameplay, so every wave feels different.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have... Oh, please.
I just wanted to point out here, you'll notice 2 things. First off, the fire team is tracking.
Yeah, this looks dope.
Like you said.
Yeah.
And also freeing captured Elixni. And as to why people want to keep Elixni captives alive, I'll
Season Defiance
for the players to discover.
Sounds deviant.
The other thing is that you'll see Crow chiming in a lot. He's features prominently in the season.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Because he is inadvertently, of course, responsible for creating Fickrel, and so it's his responsibility as the new Hunter Vanguard to rectify his old problem.
Interesting. Even though he can't be like, hey man, that was Ultron, that wasn't me. He's going to step up and take responsibility for that.
Absolutely.
Old Fickrel's fickle out there. Even to that same end too, we're going to be hanging out with Crow, with Ido, and with Mithrax, obviously.
And
the main
Spider.
Kind of part of the story. They're going to be the ones hanging.
We know Spider because in order to get access to the dungeon, you have to get I think the quest from the Spider. So we know Spider's involved. So there's a crap ton of, and Aramis is involved because we saw the little artifact or the potion that said Aramis. It could be just a throwback, but I feel like we're about to have every Elixni we've ever met in here. Ferrix, maybe, question mark? That would be interesting. You know, he's been off on Europa, not doing anything for years.
Right, that we're going to be hanging out with the most, you'd say? Or
there will be some other Elixni, some venerable old school Elixni that poke their heads in that you'll see some drama with. I won't say any more than that.
Fair.
But
Aramis.
It will be in everyone's interest to see Fickrel go down here.
Okay, got it. A little bit of enemy, my enemy. In this case, they're all our enemy.
That's right.
Fair enough. Actually, really quickly, Clayton, I know we kind of touched on several different subjects here between the different defenses, different enemies, the different kind of, structural opportunities that Onslaught Salvation has provided you. What was it like, sitting down with a team and sort of looking at this new refresh on this activity? Like, did you guys take any big challenges for yourself where, like, we want to do this?
Yeah, we knew we just wanted to build and evolve and just do more.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely.
I'm excited.
Episode, we want to do Onslaught. Let's metal it up.
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
Things like the turret, things like the Revenant Baron. We really want to play into the themes of this, like.
And just the map looks badass too.
Episode.
Yeah.
Let me know in the comments down below if you're a PvE player. What if they took this remix of the map? Like, because they did it with Onslaught too, like Midtown. What if they removed it and just made it like its own version of PvP? Like, would you play this in PvP? This with like obviously all the PvE aspects removed, but would you play this map in PvP? I think it'd be interesting to have different flavors.
And you're seeing that in the roll dart. You're seeing that in the different defenses and the mechanics that we're bringing in as well. Yeah. One thing I forgot to mention too is we are updating the moth yards from the original.
Oh, okay,
Onslaught.
good. That one was the worst one.
There, it's taking a little bit longer. We want to bring our goal is to bring that in line with the rest of the maps of the original Onslaught. So
holy crap!
We're making some updates there to.
What's funny is Onslaught Moth Yards is getting more love than Gambit. It's getting updated more than some of the Gambit stuff. Granted, they did get like the Light Hive and the Shadow Legion, but like, I mean, actual meaningful updates. Maybe in the future, Gambit will get the love it deserves, but it's just kind of funny that Onslaught is getting more love than.
To get that to go.
Very exciting. So reasons, obviously, to dive into all versions of Onslaught as we go ahead and move into Revenant.
Yeah.
Very exciting. Actually, and while we're here, out here, slaying out as best as we can against this.
Dude, this GL looks hot.
Chris, we're going to have, obviously, a slew of new episodic weapons arriving this time.
Yeah.
I know we've kind of spoken about this breach loading grenade launcher.
I know that this GL is also not going to have its catalyst because Red Death was locked in Act 2, but I'm still going to blow my load playing with this one.
Sure. Are there any other notable ones that you're most interested in, or most excited, rather, I should say, in bringing back?
God, it looks so good. Oh, you get heavy!
Maybe chasing rolls on.
Oh my God, you can get heavy too. I'm maining this.
I'm particularly.
I will be the GL bitch.
Double fire stasis grenade launcher.
Yes.
Only the third double fire in the game, and the other two are energy slot.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to run this in your kinetic slot.
Okay,
it's
nice.
got the new perk Envious Arsenal, which is like directly targeted at damage rotations. So whenever you do damage with the other two weapons, the weapon reloads.
Yeah.
Oh.
So you just cycle between your weapons, get it back, and it also has chill clip, which on a double fire is particularly cool.
That's what I say.
But yeah, that means if you land all hits, it will freeze a target. That GL is going to be freaking nasty in GMs. That legendary, oh my God. And the other one is going to be great for damage rotations. Like that GL is, I'm already excited to get the double drops where I get chill clip and that perk, the arsenal perk. Like I have life goals already. I'm going to come. I'm going to come play. That's what I meant, YouTube. Oh, you're talking about. I'm not being inappropriate. I'm going to come play. Okay? I'm going to come.
Devious, honestly.
Twice or 4 times.
Yeah.
There's also some cool synergies with the new perks on some of the other weapons. So the hand cannon can run the new perk Rhyme Stealer.
Yeah.
What the hell is that?
Every time you shatter a stasis crystal or a frozen enemy will grant you frost armor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is.
I think this is going to be a 180 stasis. We haven't had a 180 stasis, and the last 180 we had was Arc. I feel like this is going to be a 180. I'm going to be disappointed because I hate 180s, and I'm not excited for it. But yeah,
the new verb we introduced recently.
Right.
And that can also roll with Headstone, which will generate stasis crystals.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So you've got this like self-contained loop there.
Yeah.
Submachine gun is an arc precision, and that's got
600, I think.
The new perk. Shoot, what is the name of that?
That one perk. You know it's not memorable when they can't remember it. That makes me very sad.
Yeah. Anyway, it ties back into Jolt, right? Like Vault Shot is great, but it requires a reload on your weapon after a kill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one's triggered on sustained damage, so you'll jolt the target, and then the perk I'm going for in the other column is loose. change, which every time you apply a debuff, gives you a reload speed buff. So
loose change about to be meta. What the hell? I'm sorry. So if I'm using like a scout rifle from across the map, I just consistently hit things and it activates the volt shot effect, but it's just jolting things. Oh my God. For the person out there that said, incandescent's better in my other video for episode 1, where I talked about how I like volt shot better than incandescent on the rocket sidearms, eat shit, because this one is going to be nasty. Whatever perk this one is going to be better than volt shot, and it's going to be better than the incandescent, because oh my God, precision damage, baby.
So you'll be constantly having that loop cycle.
Yeah. And also, so we're going to look at the new artifact here in a little bit once we go ahead and move through.
And I want to see what perks we have
right now. But there's also, it's been featured a little bit in some art about Destiny's 10th anniversary, an exotic of yesteryear, we'd say, for all the Guardians.
Yeah, Icebreaker. Wow.
Icebreaker is returning.
Yeah, Icebreaker is coming back. It's something that we've been holding off on doing just because the ammo economy issues that are introduced in Destiny 1 are pretty dire.
Yeah.
But we've got a version here which we think lets you get back into that fantasy of just like always having uptime on the weapon.
Yeah.
Without letting you just hang back and like plink away at enemies from range.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what I did in D1 on Nightfalls. I would solo every Nightfall using just Icebreaker.
I never liked. So the way it works is assists and final blows with other weapons will just generate ammo for Icebreaker.
Okay.
It's got like a 10-round magazine, which is also the same size as reserves.
Yeah.
So the play is that in between boss damage phases or something, you and your team slay out, and as long as you're getting assists or kills, you'll come back in fully loaded.
Got it. Yeah.
And in Destiny 1, there wasn't actually any ice to break, right? So this time, we actually have a bunch of ice that you can break. I won't go into details, we've got limited time.
I'm going to be honest. I think Icebreaker is going to be underwhelming. I'm calling it now. I think Icebreaker is going to be very underwhelming. Ammo economy is great, but in most cases, I don't think people really struggle with special ammo. My personal thought is Still Hunt is going to still be better. Like, why use Icebreaker? Like, even for damage rotations, there's still like decent snipers out there. Personally, I don't feel like special is a problem. So its second ability, dealing with stasis, has to be like really significant for me to give a fuck about it. And I'm just gonna be very bluntly honest. Icebreaker, you're breaking the ice, and it feels mid. It sounds very mid.
Fair enough. Okay.
Ties deeply into
yeah, this stasis episode will certainly be giving people a lot of reasons to break the proverbial ice.
And here's the thing: there's looks like a lot of stasis buildup, which is great. But I want the exotic to be good even after the episode's over and the stasis buffs go away. Like, if it can't stand alone on its own, then it's not a good exotic. If you need odds from like an episode to be good, it is not good.
The sounds of it. No, that's very exciting to check out. Now, while we're still here, let's go ahead and check out the
all right, what do we got?
Artifact that's going to be arriving. We love getting a chance to show all of you folks this early so you can go ahead and start your build crafting. But Chris, I know obviously last time around, if I had to...
I'm trying to zoom in for y'all.
Meta, I'd say rather be very focused on sniper rifles, solar. If there was a similar theme for this particular artifact, what would it be?
So it goes very hard into stasis.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. All right, we got... anti-barrier scout rifle, overload SMG. God, I hate overload SMG. Unstopped pulse rifle. Okay, we have anti-barrier shotgun. Maybe like I'm thinking of like tractor cannon is probably going to be a premium. You can literally shoot them, stun them, and then you're debuffing them, then hot swap to an actual shotgun. You could do double shotgun and then a primary. Like, maybe. Shotgun, and then maybe a GL as well for overload. And then overall, like that sounds interesting. And Acarus, Legend of Acarus. Oh my God, Legend of Acarus sounds like it's gonna be disgusting as well. All right, we got a perk called One with Frost. While Frost armor is active, stasis weapons gain increased reload speed and stability. Stasis swords gain increased guard resistance. Okay.
like touches all of the.
Killing Breeze. Rapid weapon final blows grants you a bonus to mobility. Weapon final blows with a Dark Ether Reaper origin trait count as more than one. That bottom half is probably going to be more important than the top.
Stasis verbs. If you want to make a stasis build, you can amplify it in a bunch of ways.
That's what it sounds like. Enhanced Ether Generator. Dark Ether Reaper or origin trait has a chance to spawn an extra Dark Ether charge. Weapons with a Dark Ether Reaper trait are overcharged. Okay, so yeah, so it just lets you overcharge it to do bonus damage, like in Grandmasters and etc. etc.
Yeah.
Here, we're also
Fell the Revenant. Deal increased weapon damage to Scorn. I mean, that's just gonna be a flat buff across the board. Like, I think you're gonna want that for the dungeon too. Wearing Shadestalker armor currently at 0 of 4 increases the bonus damage. There's a reason to wear armor now. To get 4 pieces of the armor, there's a reason. Holy crap.
adding a bunch of grenade launcher perks.
Rapidly dealing damage with a grenade launcher temporarily increases the reload speed of grenade launchers. I guarantee that's what he's using. Okay, so maybe that sucks because I thought the GL was already doing good with its reload, but I got debated. I got gaslighted. It was a rapid hit mod. Dang it.
So we've got overload grenade launchers, which is great, like tagging those like super deadly overload champions.
Yeah.
Also bringing back a variant of like everyone's favorite grenade launcher.
Wind Chill. Rapid stasis weapon precision hits grant you a stack of armor. Rapid precision hits from weapons with Dark Ether Reaper trait grants you more stacks of frost armor. Wait, so just by doing actual like precision damage, you get frost armor? Dude, during a DPS phase where an enemy is shooting you, like a boss is shooting you, you can continuously give yourself resistance. Holy crap. Boost. Deal stasis weapon damage to slow target has the chance to spawn a stasis shard. Dude, that sounds dope.
Sure. Yeah. Artifact perk, Breach and Clear.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Concussion reload. Using a grenade launcher, damage to a boss, damage a champion, or break a combatant shield weakens them. Using grenade launcher to damage bosses, champions, or break combatant shields automatically reloads stowed weapons. Okay, so that's the tonic. So you use the tonic for the boost.
Yeah.
So you can weaken enemies, and then when you
Dude,
boost
this is
it,
good.
You get the second part of that old perk. We were saying earlier, you can boost artifact perks with the potion system.
That's right, yeah. Good.
That's cool.
I also will admit I'm very selfishly excited to see anti-barrier scout rifle back. It's been so long.
Anti-barrier.
Crystalline Converter. Gather stasis shards to gather stacks of Crystalline Converter. Your next powered stasis melee hit grants create stasis crystals equal to the number of stacks you have. The boost, stasis weapon final blows, activate your class ability, spawn a stasis shard. Okay.
I've missed it.
Scout is great.
I'm going to pretend like that's just
total carnage. After finishing a powerful combatant, gain temporary damage resistance. When you have 2 or more Shadestalker armor pieces, currently 0-4, after finishing a powerful gain increased temporary damage resistance and replenish health. Dude, that's going to be nuts for, I think, the dungeon.
Just for me, for my own benefit today.
We're trying something a bit different.
Power from Pain. Rapid final blows against weakened combatants grants you Devour. Nasty. Rapidly defeating weakened combatants spawns a Void Breach. Yeah, that sounds nasty.
Artifact as well in that. So the first column is all anti.
Trace Evidence. Rapid precision hits or rapid final blows on targets affected by Jolt or Blind will generate a Ionic Trace. Pick up an Ionic Trace grants an armor charge. Okay.
Champion mods, and the final column is all of the pinnacle ones, like the capstones for your artifact build.
Right, yeah.
But columns 2, 3, and 4 are.
Oh, I didn't read that last one.
The final column is all of the pinnacle ones, like the capstones for your.
Armor of Aramis. While Frost Armor is active, taking critical damage to combatants cause you to emit a freezing burst. Okay. Increase the radius and strength of the freezing burst.
Artifact build.
Right, yeah.
But columns 2, 3, and 4 are roughly.
Hail of the Storm. Shattering crystal stasis crystals releases shards of ice and that damage and slow targets. Shattering frozen targets, stasis deals more increased damage. Okay.
Equivalent in power, which will let you mix and match them more freely instead of feeling.
Debilitating Wave. Finishers emit a damaging wave that matches the element of your currently equipped super. While you have Arc, Void, and Stasis equipped, The blast also applies blind, weaken, and slow. Oh my God.
Like, you have to like go for the top tier ones. They're all
right.
We already did concussive reload.
It's less of a linear escalation and more of just a mix and match.
Retinal burn. Rapid arc weapon precision hits consume an armor charge to blind the target. Blinding a target this way instead emits a blinding burst.
Match in a lot of ways. Very exciting. Okay. So there'll be plenty of opportunities for players.
Kinetic impact. Sustained damage with a power grenade launcher causes combatant to emit a shockwave that damages nearby combatants. This shockwave can stun unstoppable champions. Bro.
Just go ahead and amplify their builds. Go ahead and really lean into one play style if, again, you're like me.
Serve cold. Pick up Stasis Shard. Grants you a class ability energy. Picking up Void grants you melee. Okay.
You want to run double grenade
Not the most impressive.
This feels like a remarkably great season to be doing that.
Conductive Cosmic Crystal. Your arc abilities, Void abilities, and weapons with the Dark Ether Reaper trait do bonus damage to targets that are affected by a stasis debuff. Ooh. Increase bonus damage to combatants affected by stasis debuff.
Especially with the Fighting Lion buff. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Oh, well, no, we won't see the last two.
That actually wraps us up for this particular segment of Onslaught, but there's also a couple more things that I wanted to go ahead and tease for the arrival of
he's going to show us the last two.
For starters, an old favorite strike is going to be making its return. The Inverted Spire is returning.
Finally.
But it's not coming back exactly as people remember it, is it?
Okay.
Nope. We're taking an approach and adjusting all the encounters, and you'll see more Vex.
Yes.
Yay!
I can confirm. My compatriot on the social media team, Mitch, showed me through it a little bit. The only thing I'll spoil is if you like death lasers, you're going to have a great time out there.
Yep. GM's going to be fun, I guess.
In addition to that, there's one more thing we wanted to add in. Arriving with Act 2, mind you, of Revenant, and I'm going to read this to make sure I get it right, a inspired from a fan favorite activity from Destiny's past. We're going to go ahead and bring back an activity, but we're not going to tell you anything outside of that.
I'm pretty sure Act 2 is around Christmas time. Sparrow Racing. If it's Sparrow Racing, I'll buy the Christmas set. No, I won't. I won't do that. You haven't earned that money yet. But I'll be very tempted to give you my money for Sparrow Racing because I might come. Like, come play for sure. Like, I'm going to come play. I'm going to come.
So chat, speculate, let us know what you think. Go ahead and shout us out on Twitter or wherever it is you like to hang out online. With that, I think we're going ready to get ready, pardon me, for the next segment.
Which is where we're going to end the video there. You guys let me know in the comments down below what you thought about the intro to Act 1 of Revenant. I'm going to do a full, my thoughts of the beginning of the season, just the thoughts of Act 1 and so far, like my general feeling on it. Like, because episode 1, I could tell you right off the rip, I was not impressed, and it really carried over. So I'm going to give you my first impressions on like just the first experience, and then we'll do like an Act 1. And then after I do Act 1 overall, like, because you can play the entire thing of Act 1. So I'm gonna play. It's gonna be a long night of streaming, but I'm gonna do it. So I appreciate you guys. Check me out. I will be late because I have a parent-teacher conference. I work at a school. I know, fun stuff. This isn't my full-time job. So I would love to see you guys checking me out as I stream at 6 o'clock, as always, or around 6 o'clock Central, my time. I will be live if you want to jump in and play, by all means. As always, I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor. Hit the like button, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel for more. Until next time, game out.